this might just be Israel Adesanya's last chance in the UFC. Adesanya is going up against Nassourdine Imavov on this upcoming fight night, and this could be his very last chance if he gets the win to climb up the ranks and actually fight for a title. Of course, we know Adesanya is coming off of 2 losses. First to Sean Strickland in losing his belt, and then to Dricus du Plessis, in which he got submitted. And many fans thought that this might be the end for Izzy and he was going to retire, but he's coming back to fight Imavov, a young, hungry guy, so it's a big test for him as well.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be interesting because Nassourdine Imavov is no just regular contender. He is well-rounded. He's a lot younger at 28 years old, and he has faced some decent competition, beating Brendan Allen, stopping Jared Cannonier. And like you said, this is a risky fight for Israel Adesanya. He's taking a fight on a UFC fight night in Saudi Arabia, and this is going to be a big test to see if he still got it because he's facing, I mean, let's be honest, the best in the division. The guys are going at it for a rematch for the belt next month when we see Sean Strickland versus Dricus du Plessis too. So I guess no shame in losing to those guys, especially because how long Izzy has been at the top of the middleweight division for. So now he's going to be fighting a rising contender, and we're going to see how he does. Sean Strickland did beat Nassourdine Imavov a couple years ago, and they kind of gone to a scrap. Sean Strickland isn't really known for having the most entertaining fights, especially recently with like his Paulo Costa performance, but he did go to kind of war with Nassourdine Imavov. But Imavov is a bit more green, but Izzy is always going to be dangerous. It's going to be interesting to see whether he does still have a lot in the tank. He's 35 years old now, and he's done it all pretty much, defended that middleweight title for years.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be one of the biggest factors in this upcoming fight. Adesanya has defended his belt so many times, has claimed the belt twice, and I think at this point he's kind of just satisfied with his career. Of course, he's still going to be trying to win this fight no matter what and going to war, but he's kind of satisfied with how his career has turned out. He's done it all, has all the achievements, all the accolades, while Imavov is a very hungry contender looking to claim the belt, and he's also a very well-rounded fighter, decent wrestler. We know Adesanya isn't the greatest wrestler or grappler, does struggle, he even got taken out by Alex Pereira. He is a decent counter wrestler at times, maybe when he was in his prime against Brunson we saw that, but now he's 35, so he's definitely not going to be the same, especially in grappling. And if Imavov is able to mix it up well, involve some takedowns while also mixing it up with his striking, then there's a high chance he could take this win.
Honestly, I don't know if I agree with that, because Israel Adesanya kind of does have his back against the wall. So you can either look at it of, oh, he's satisfied with his career, or no, he's hungry to get back what is his and get back to the title. When his back is against the wall, like we saw in that Alex Pereira fight, he ended up coming back and knocking out Alex Pereira in the second round, the only guy to beat Alex in the UFC and in dominant fashion via vicious knockout. So Izzy does show up when he is a contender. He was looking good in that Dricus du Plessis fight, especially on the feet, but ended up kind of getting just manhandled by Dricus, who just imposed himself like he does to everyone. So I wouldn't say that Izzy's kind of satisfied with his career. If he's coming back, I do feel like he kind of has his back against the wall here. He's going to need to get this win if he wants to get back into the mix. So we could see a better version of Izzy than we've seen in the last couple years, or maybe like you said, he is satisfied, but I feel like Izzy's going to come back for vengeance here. I feel like he still feels that he still has stuff left to prove in the division, showing that he could still compete with these guys that are at the top right now. We've seen Alex Pereira's run, and he's kind of near the same age as Izzy. Now Alex is a kind of different beast with the power that he has and that equalizer in the left hand, the left hook, how he's been putting out everyone in the middle in the light heavyweight division. But Adesanya still has the skill, so we're going to see if he's able to climb back up the ranks in middleweight.
And I think some of those points may be true, but at the same time, yes, Izzy gets back into the mix if he does win this fight, but realistically, how likely is it going to be that he gets a title shot? I mean, even if he wins against Imavov, it's not like he's going to get the shot right away. We know Khamzat Chimaev is most likely in line next. However, at the same time, Adesanya has already gotten a lot of title shots recently, an opportunity to bounce back. First, when he lost against Alex Pereira, and then next, when he lost against Strickland, he got the opportunity to fight DDP once again. So I don't know how likely, to be honest. He still has that name value, and they might want to give him the shot to promote a big fight. But in a more realistic standpoint, I don't know if he really deserves it.
I don't know. The UFC have kind of been giving any excuse to give Israel Adesanya a title shot in the last couple of years, and he is still at the top of the division. Nassourdine Imavov is kind of the top contender besides the Sean Stricklands and the Robert Whitakers of the world and the Khamzat Chimaev, as you said. Khamzat's definitely getting the next title shot, but that doesn't mean that Izzy, if he has a great performance against Nassourdine Imavov, if he comes back and gets like a highlight reel knockout and let's say Hamza becomes champ, I could definitely see them booking Izzy versus Hamza for that title, and that would be a huge fight, because at the end of the day, Izzy is still always going to be a star. He has the name value, even though he's coming off losses. A big win over a rising and surging contender, Nassourdine Imavov, would definitely put him back in the mix. I do think that the UFC probably would give him a title shot with a win over Nassourdine Imavov. Who else would he really fight? He's friends with Robert Whittaker now. He's not, maybe he fights Sean Strickland or DDP, the loser of that, to get a title shot, but I don't feel like the UFC would give him that path. I feel like this is a pretty surefire way of getting him a title shot if he wins.
As well, I think a win for either of these guys, to be honest, is going to age very well on their resume. Let's say Izzy takes the dub against Imavov. It's very likely that Imavov is going to continue to get wins in the UFC, and he's still a young and hungry fighter, so it's not like he's going to be done anytime soon, and most likely will get some more wins over ranked guys. And on the other hand, if Imavov wins, he just beat Israel Adesanya, former two-time champion with many title defenses, one of the greatest of all time, and that's going to look great for him on his resume and on his path to actually getting a title shot, and is definitely going to elevate his stock heavily.
Yeah, I do think the middleweight division is in a great spot right now. It's kind of the most exciting it's been in a couple years, with a lot of new faces. We got Imavov, we got Dricus du Plessis, Strickland at the top of the division, now Hamza Chimaev entering the mix, probably going to get a title shot this year, and now we're going to see if Izzy's going to be able to climb his way back up to the title shot with this fight against Nassourdine Imavov. This is going to be a huge tell of where he is at in his career. Is he done? Is he finished? Or is he back? Is he coming back in blood? He's going up against the sniper Nassourdine Imavov, and Izzy kind of is a sniper himself. We've seen those highlight reel knockouts throughout his career. Lately, they've kind of been few and far between, as when he was champion, he was kind of getting a lot of decisions and was kind of known as a leg kick merchant.
So at the end of the day, we're going to see if Israel Adesanya is washed up and just a YouTuber now, or if he's able to recapture a big win and go back to the title. But let us know down below who you think is going to win between Israel Adesanya and Nassourdine Imavov. But make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for the channel, and be on the lookout for the next Punch Talk video.